What up YouTube, it's me, your favourite Steve, and this is my charity shop haul of the week. What up YouTube, this is a mixture of the charity shops I went to around near my workplace yesterday because I had a half day off, and the haul that I got today. Pretty pants, not a lot there. It was a bit rubbish. Got a few duds, I ain't gonna lie. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. I'll go into that big bag of stuff over there in a minute. But I'll go from yesterday. So I've sold these kind of suitcases before. I always go for faux leather because I don't know whether it's leather or not, but I can get about 10 to 15. One of the straps have gone on the side, so I think I might just aim for 10 just to get rid of it. And so that is a bit of a dud. But normally with cases like that, especially if you've got the lock on the top and you know what the code is, you can get about 15-20 quid. But yeah, it was a bit pants. The inside's in good condition. I just don't know, I just can't find that exact one. And yeah, so I'm thinking about just shooting for a tenner. It cost me £4.50, and maybe just getting rid of it. And then next was this basket and 2 cups. I always look for these blue and white stuff again. This again, not can't find one. Not really anything with a basket on eBay with cups in, to be quite honest. Part of me was thinking about sticking it with one of my picnic baskets that I've got for next year, but it cost me £3 again. I've seen, it's not the exact same one, but I've seen something go for the same kind of money for about a tenner, so I'm going to shoot for a tenner on that. Got a Ben 10 watch, that only cost me £1, so I'm going to shoot for a tenner. It needs new batteries, but you can get about £10 without the batteries. You could probably get about 15 if it was all working. Right, so we'll go to today. It was crap today at the shops. I don't know whether I had a return request just as I got into the town centre, so I don't know whether it kind of put a damper and I started thinking about the return request. What it was 2 wrestling figures that a lady bought the other day. With my wrestling figures I always say please study the photos and all that jazz, because you know they are second hand. I do put in the description that they're second hand, they're played with, and these were played with. You could see they were played with, but I always like to think about if somebody is a collector or anything like that and is after these characters for their collection, especially the way I advertise them. I advertise them, it's a family, the Inoue family, so I would have thought somebody would know that name would be a collector, but I think it was somebody who was buying it for their kids. And I think what they've done is they've basically only looked at the one photo. The one photo, they're not in the best condition, but if you look into the other photos, I'll go into more depth, and there's a few more markings on them. But one of them was saying, she was saying one of them had a bad arm and stuff like that, and she wanted to return them. I think it's about 7-8 quid that I might lose out on, so I might just give her a refund. But it's just one of those things where I'm just like, no, I don't want to give you a refund. But you know, eBay doesn't give you the option to contest it or anything. It's basically either offer partial refund, offer refund, message the person or something else, but just a pain in the arse. So I think that might have put me off, but at the same time there was nothing that was sticking out while I was walking around on the shelves. So it ended up being that I got to the last charity shop and I picked up this cushion tray. I've sold these before. for £10, so that was £2. I'm going to shoot for a tenner on that. And then there was these two One Direction dolls, which are in used condition. You can see the stain on the jeans. Do come with the box, but they're still used figures. I'm I'm stretching at this. Could probably get a tenner for the two, but really stretching. So it kind of got to that point in the day where I was like, oh, I can't leave town with two One Direction dolls, and I can't eat your dinner food tray, so I just carried on a bit. So I picked up this, I think this is a powder, powder tray. Now, the reason why I picked this up, for the past few weeks, I've been seeing a lot of this stuff. A lot of this coloured glass items everywhere in the charity shops. And it always catches my eye, and I've never really took a dive at picking it up, and I thought, well, this is probably the best day to do it, seeing as I absolutely had nothing at the charity shops. So I did some research, had a walk around, got on my phone and just started searching clear glass. What ended up coming up was Art Deco clear glass, and it's for makeup stations, basically vintage makeup stations. The one charity shop had a load of this, but they really kind of overpriced it really. Everything was like £2.50. This one was £1.99. Normally you can get sets of these at the charity shops near me for a full set for maybe a few quid, and you can get about 25 quid. Now I've done research on it, so it's kind of one of them days where, yeah, everything's pants, and I haven't really got a lot, but now, because I was put in a situation where I had to do some research and I had to find something for my own sanity to bring home, I researched this, and now I know what they are and what kind of money they sell for. So this was £1.99. It's a powder tray. I can get about a tenner for it, but normally they wouldn't be as high priced as the charity shop I went to today for £1.99. So yeah, that was £1.99. Get a tenner for that. And as you can see, there's some WWE figures here. Now, these were not from charity shops. As I started getting desperate, I was walking around Wolverhampton. It was while I was researching the Art Deco powder tray. I saw a few collectible shops. Now, I have been in the collectible shops before, but it's never really crossed my mind to go in there to look for stuff to resell, because you're kind of working with the same kind of people, if you know what I mean. The person who's in the shop is just not using eBay to sell their tat, basically. But I went into a couple of them, and there was one guy who had a shop, but he didn't really advertise the stuff with prices on, and kind of wanted to haddle with you, and I didn't really want. I'm not a haggling kind of person, so I couldn't be bothered with that. And then I went to another one, which was a toy collector's, which is obviously where I got some of these wrestling figures from. Now, I went in there. There was a lot of sealed stuff, a lot of it kind of stuff around £10, £15 price range. And then he had a lot of tubs around the back that just had figures or bits of toys and blah blah. And he'd obviously done his research on some of the figures, because he had some of the figures in glass cases. But then he had quite a few figures which I just didn't. I think what it was, I didn't really. I was kind of scoping the shop, if you know what I mean, just to see what was around, see what I could like remember for when I got out the shop, to have a look on eBay and then maybe go back the next week. But I did see these. I picked these three up because I've never really seen these three. Out of all the job lots that I've ever got, I've never seen these three figures. They're all £2 each. This one I've already got listed at the minute for 12 quid, and it's got a few watches, so that cost me 2 quid, that's going to be 12. This one is Booker T. I've never seen this version of the figure before, or the character as a figure before. So there's not one on eBay at the minute. When I search images, one is sold for $20. and I think that was in a sealed pack. So I'm just going to shoot for a tenner because of the fact that I've never seen it. It's not listed on eBay, so just put a rare Booker T, see what happens. And then those two, I'm going to shoot. That one sold for about £7. That one sold for absolutely nothing. I think it was £2. So I'm going to shoot for, round it off, a tenner on both of them. So yeah, £4 into a tenner, £2 into 12, and £2 into 10. Then I found another toy collectible shop. Now I could have done a lot more. I could have stayed a lot longer in that shop and maybe got some more figures, but he was selling 3 for £10. So these would cost me £3.33 thereabout each. He had a massive box of them, a massive box of figures that I could have started searching through. What happened, I kind of crapped my pants a bit, I ain't gonna lie. Because I had a big bag, like a big kind of Sainsbury's bag, and one of those figures was lying in the bag. Now I was left alone with the figures to kind of search through them and start going through them and stuff like that. I don't know whether they had cameras in the shop or whatever, but all that went through my head was, I can see that figure in that bag. Somebody's going to walk past and think I've thrown that figure into the bag. That shop didn't give me a receipt, so I was like, ugh. So I kind of got 3 that I could see that were kind of unique, and also that I've sold before for, you know, £6 or £7 or more. So I just grabbed these 3. This one, again, is a really rare figure. It's WCW figure, and it's not Bret Hart in his normal kind of outfit. I think WCW went through a phase where they started doing like these weird figures that, I don't know, were kind of like, this looks like a Terminator Bret Hart kind of figure. Again, can't find one of these on eBay. It cost me £3.33, so I'm just going to go for a tenner on that one. Later, I've got this one listed for, I think, £7 at the minute. I'm going to do more research. Oops, sorry, I'm touching the wrong place there. I'm going to do some more research, but if anything, it can go for 7. Cost me £3.33. And this one is Stardust, that I've sold before for a tenner, but I've done more research on it this evening, and it's now going for 12 because he's a former wrestler who's no longer in WWE. So that's my charity shop / collector's shop haul. As I said, pretty pants, but if anything, coming out of this week, I know what those are. And also I've got 2-3 more collectible shops where, you know, it was a kind of thing where with the guy, especially in one of the shops, he could not know what he has or whatever. I know one of them, I did hear an eBay ka-ching go off while I was in his shop, so maybe he does search on eBay. But with both of them, with the wrestlers, they couldn't be bothered to separate them, and they were just in tubs around the back of the shop. So, if anything, that's definitely something I'm going to go to now every week before I start going to the charity shops, and just have a look through their boxes of wrestlers, and what I think they're underpricing, I'll take advantage on eBay. So yeah, that's my haul. Thank you very much for watching. Bit of a long-winded one for saying very little. Oh crap, I haven't gone through that bag. Right, this bag. I've been tricked again. Right, this bag. Right, if you can see this. Ninjago here. So, there was 4 of these hanging about in that bag when I got it from the charity shop. This cost me £20. I don't know how much kilos there or whatever, but with those little signs in there, and there was a couple of little things. I'm not the best with Lego. If anything, I'll avoid Lego at all costs. But I saw this big massive bag for £20, and I thought, screw it, I'm going to take a shot for it. It's ended up those little square Ninjagos. I don't know why they're in there, but it's not Ninjago, it's Mega Bloks, or Lego, it's Mega Bloks. So it cost me £20. I just want to get rid of it. I've got another Mega Bloks kind of dragon castle set up in the shed. It's obviously in a box that cost me 15 quid, and when I bought it for 15 quid, I think the only sold listing on eBay, because it was when I first started, it was something I snapped off eBay that I thought I could get some money for. It ended up being I can't. So what I'm going to do, that cost 15, that cost 20. I'm just going to put a massive job lot with all the dragons showing and all the Mega Bloks bits showing, and just aim for 45 quid and try and make a tenner off it. Obviously I won't make a tenner because of fees, but just get the money back off it, because they're both duds, and that other one's just sitting in the shed, and that will just sit in the shed because there's no money in it whatsoever. So yeah, that is my dud charity shop, collector's shop haul of the week. If anything, there's money in them, and I've learned some lessons. So thank you very much. Peace out. Stay safe, stay beautiful, all that jazz. I will catch you in the next video. Ta-ra.